Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is Painkiller, and we are in level 3 of chapter 1, which is the Catacombs, and let's get started. Okay, so in this level, to get the tarot card, we're gonna have to kill all monsters, and that essentially just means that we have to enter one extra room. I think that's really all you need to do to get everyone to get every monster to spawn. And more importantly, if we look over there, we can see something glowing in the distance in that rock over there. And I really don't have a good way of getting there. And that's sort of a running thing with this level. There's just a whole bunch of secrets and I really don't have any real good ways, logical ways to get there. My theory is pretty much to just jump up and down here until you start jumping weirdly like this, and then eventually, if the gods of physics allow it, then lo and behold, you suddenly start jumping upwards as long as you're just mashing the jump button. And yep, we're going up a little bit and we just nudge it back and forth a bit and whoop 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 whoop, and suddenly we're over here. That's it's a running joke in this level because every I'm gonna say every secret is just stupid in this level. But that was one of the lesser stupid ones, because you won't at least take any damage when you're just faffing around like that. But instead, we're not gonna worry about that right now. Right now, we're just gonna go downstairs in this place. It's using more of the enemies that we saw in the first level. It's kind of cool that it switches up the enemies in between the first and the second level and then the third level again. And we just get to fight a whole bunch of skeletons in this little corridor right here. I think that may have been it, yeah. And we're actually going to be introduced to a couple new enemy types as well, seemingly like in every other level so far, but this is no exception. But as we move here, we're actually going to see a combination of enemies. Also, there's an armor over here, which we have not really seen before, even though they have both spawned previously, which is these skeletons and also the dudes with the shields. And this is actually kind of an annoying combination, because when the dudes with the shields stab the corpse of a dead enemy, it actually revives them. And sometimes that happens where they cut their head off and it just mindlessly starts swinging around, which is also pretty cool. But most importantly is to take note that they do actually revive their dead allies. And if suddenly you're fighting the same enemies over and over, there's probably one of those guys just hanging out and destroying all the fun in the land. Even though the corpses of the enemies do tend to explode if you kill them often enough, it seems. And now that the music has stopped, we can go slightly forward, and it spawns a new enemy type. I believe it's a new enemy type. It's the Kamikazes! That one's stuck behind that rock for some reason. I don't really know why that happened, but there's dudes with barrels that run around, and after a while they explode, and they're really, really scary because they deal a fair amount of damage, and unlike the Serious Sam Kamikazes, they don't really make any noise at all, so it's terrifying. Anyway, there's a rope here, and I would argue this is probably the worst secret in the level, because as you can see, there's something glowing over there, and there's a bunch of sticks here, which, you know, sticks, not so hard. Yeah, it's great. So these move when you touch them, and I honestly couldn't find a good way of getting this on the internet, but I messed around with it a bit and found a strategy that sometimes works. So I'm just going to give this a shot. I'm actually going to quick save before doing this because I don't trust myself. But basically, I'm going to climb up, and the moment I reach almost the top, I'm just going to mash the jump button while I'm still on the rope, and just continue to mash the jump button for the rest of the time as well. And hopefully that won't happen, and instead I'll somehow manage to land on that middle stick thing right there and then jump forward onto the pillar right there. And if I fail it one more time, I'm just gonna video edit my way to there, but let's just give it one more shot before we do that. Nope, it didn't happen. So I'm just gonna load the game and then video edit my way until I get it right at least once. Hey, it worked that time. This was pretty much the easiest way I could figure out about doing it. I thought at first it might be easier to jump there first, but you can't quite make it in one jump. You really do have to use these vines over here, and it's a problem. But fortunately we got it, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. If we jump there, Sometimes you don't take damage. It's a bit weird about it. I guess it depends on whether or not parts of the pillar are still on there or something. I don't know. But we don't have to worry about that anymore because we got it and we can just move on now, knowing that we did it. And here's another enemy type, which I don't think we've seen before, is these throwing dudes. These guys are actually kind of annoying. It's a good thing we have a stake gun from the previous level, but if you don't have one of those yet, you can actually grab it over here as well. And with that, we can kill these guys. Remember to kill them because you're going to need to kill every enemy to get the tarot card in this level. And if you don't kill everyone, you're not going to get it. And it's always sad when you miss a tarot card, really. Especially when you play on older versions of the game and you need to unlock trauma difficulty by getting all tarot cards on nightmare difficulty. But I'm playing on Steam and I don't need to do that. Nyeh. But having killed those guys, we can move forward. We just picked up some stuff. This bridge is very physics, and let's shoot that guy as well. Some of those guys are actually slightly different as well, but we'll see those, I think, in a room that's coming up. Now, ordinarily, you wouldn't need to go into this room if you're not going for tarot cards, but I am, so I am going to go in here. I'm going to destroy this chest. I'm just going to hang out here for a while because the door just closed behind me, and I just need to wait for a while before I can continue again. The battle music starts playing. Might as well just grab all the money I can find right here. And if we wait long enough, that guy will spawn, and killing that guy will make the door open again. And that means we can kill all these little guys over here and take all of their souls. And I want their souls because we didn't have that many yet. And having picked up those souls, we can move on to the next room. And this is where we're going to find slightly changed enemies that we saw previously. We saw those guys that were throwing those daggers earlier. These guys right here. And these guys, when you shoot them a couple times, they turn into big dudes. And you have to shoot those guys quite a bit before they actually die. And they're kind of annoying. You don't really want to get hit by those. I think only one of those two actually changes. Sometimes two of them might change. I don't really know how it works, to be perfectly honest, but I'm guessing it might have something to do with how much damage you do, or maybe I'm just wrong and there's just the one that changes. I'm honestly not sure, but either way, watch out because they're scary. Now, the room that's coming up, which is over there, has a secret in it, and it's great. It's just good. I'm actually going to take one of these boxes with me because I have tried recording this level before and I didn't bring the box with me because I was like, I know a better strategy of doing it and it's a lot quicker and you don't need to faff around with this stupid gigantic super box right here. But this is just a fail-safe because I don't want to do this level anymore. I've probably tried recording this level about 3 or 4 times now and just something went stupidly wrong every single time and I am honestly quite done with it. So instead, I'm just going to move a little bit further forward with this box over here. It's a little bit tedious, but it's just such a good fail-safe that it's just worth doing. Especially if this stupid thing is going to get stuck in the doorway right now. Are you kidding me? Come on, you can do this. You can be a pal. Be a pal. There you go. Who's a good box? You are. You're the best box I've ever seen. And let's just carry this forward. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Because I want to get it through that doorway as well, but that will probably be a little bit easier. I'm actually going to go back and just destroy these remaining crates just to get the extra money out of it. Because why not? Nothing wrong with a little bit of extra cash. And having picked that up, jumping back again. Because bunny hopping is man's greatest invention. Alright, so having gotten that checkpoint, I'm going to push this box through here. And push it a little bit further forward than it needs to be so the door that's going to close here in a second doesn't crush it. I think this should be good. And yep, and I'm going to move forward and just kill everything that's going to come our way here. Because there's a bunch of kamikazes here and they're all rather nasty pants. And I don't really like nasty pants enemies. Not a fan at all. So you can actually use that coffin as well if you kill these guys properly. But that coffin has a tendency of exploding, and when it's exploded, it doesn't work very well anymore. And that's a problem. Originally, I thought I'll just use this ladder, but no, this ladder it tends to break when you touch it at all. And there you go. The enemy walked over it for a moment, and it just broke into pieces, and it's very sad. Another strategy I had to get to the secret, which is a little bit further back, is to just use an enemy. And it barely ever works, but it does look cool when it does work, so I am actually going to give it a shot with one of these enemies over here. And I'm just going to kill one of these two guys. There we go. And the other one should follow me. And I hope this works. Oh, Don't do that, though. Might work, might work. Will it work? I don't think it's gonna work. But if you do it right, you can basically jump on top of the enemy's corpse when it's hanging on there. And then you can jump onto that little platform over there. But unfortunately, that went a little bit wrong. And plan B would be to just use that coffin, which exploded, unfortunately. So plan B is out of the question. So we're going with plan C, and that's the big TNT box, which does the job quite well because it's massive. You can probably actually do it with one of these other boxes over here. They're a little bit small, so seemingly it shouldn't be possible, but the way physics works when it comes to like moving objects or objects which are kind of in an odd angle, well, it sometimes will just launch you upwards and you should be able to get up there, but this is by far the easiest way. It's not very fast, but it works, so, you know. There we go. Let's see if we can just jump up here. That would be good. It's still a little bit tricky, but we can just push this thing upwards, and then hopefully, if this thing would stop moving, we can actually just jump on top of it and use it as a platform to get up there. There we go. Took a while, but we got there in the end, and we can destroy this thing now. I hate that secret so much. And I honestly don't know, again, if there is maybe just an easier way of getting up there, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there just isn't. That the game just sort of expects you to do weird stuff here, but it doesn't matter. We got the secret in the end, and that's all that we really care about right now. And having done that, we can move on. Not have to worry about that anymore. Just gonna grab all this stuff here. We have a whole bunch of alternate, well, a whole bunch, I say. I have 4 shots of alternate fire with this gun, and I also have some grenades, so that's pretty neat. That guy spawned behind me, and I don't like him. That guy spawned in front of me, also don't like him. And that pattern keeps going here for a while. I generally just don't like anyone here, to be perfectly honest. But there's quite a lot of enemies here. Some of them are kamikazes, and once we killed those, there should be a bunch of enemies behind me again as well, which is a little bit annoying, to say the least, but even though we got hit there, it doesn't really matter too much because there's another secret area waiting for us. This one is pretty easy to get. It's just a little bit annoying to get out of there again because there's some health underneath this bridge over here. You can just jump down and walk into it like that. And again, you just sort of nudge the wall, mash the jump button, find that special place the game has made somewhere. It might be there, maybe? Come on, any day now, any time now, and suddenly we will just be jumping up, and it's gonna be great. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why this is a thing. It just is, and I'm not gonna question it. It's just video games. But having done that, I think we got all secrets. Yes, we did. There's only 4 secrets in this level. And we can continue moving on through the level. I'm actually going to get some souls because we're pretty low on those right now. There's still a whole bunch of enemies left to kill, but it's just nice to have as many souls as possible. And these enemies die pretty quickly anyway, so they're good ways of getting souls. I'm just looking forward to when we get the tarot card that we get for beating this level because it makes getting souls just a little bit easier as well. But we'll see that when we get through this. Let's see if we can get that. Yes, we can. Turn into souls. Come to me, children. I think there's still one guy. Yeah, there is. Come on, die. Die when I shoot you. And we grab the ammo, grab the money, grab the soul, grab the everything. Feel happy about ourselves. Destroy that thing. We can't destroy that thing, but we tried anyway. And trying is all that truly matters. And having tried that, we jump forward through this corridor. Now there is actually a second room which I forgot about, but it's to the right over here. And we do actually need to go in there to get some extra enemy kills over here for our little tarot card. But more importantly, I'm just going here for the armor. I find the armor more important than that tarot card, to be perfectly honest, because my armor was not great at the time. But now it's 150, and I like that amount. It's good. It makes me feel not as dead, really. I don't really like dying very much in video games. Makes me sad. And I've mentioned things about being sad previously. But going into this room, there's just a bunch of destructible things, a bunch of ammo, a bunch of stuff, and it leads us to the second to last area of this level. There's a lot of destruction here. Get rid of those as quickly as possible because nastiness can happen if you keep those alive, and it's just not fun to get killed by something stupid like that. Let's get a little bit closer to these guys. Shotgun's really not great on long distance. I think the shotgun works a little bit differently than it would do in a game like Serious Sam, where in that game it seems to just shoot individual pellets. In this game it just seems to deal less damage the further away you are. And I'm not sure if I'm just wrong about that, but that's just how it seems to me in this game. But there's quite a lot of enemies. Pretty much all except one of the remaining enemies are all in this just gigantic area. And I'm just gonna bunny hop my way forward to this little place over here. Try not to fall down because there's a whole bunch of these guys that throw a bunch of stuff at me. And it's a little bit easier to take care of when we're up here because we don't have to aim as much. And shooting downwards with this thing, I just find it a little bit easier than shooting upwards. Thank you for shield bashing me and screwing with my aim, but that's fine. And this way everyone's coming towards us as well, so we don't really have to worry about not being able to find some of the enemies. Because everyone's just gonna go here. This is pretty much the place to be. They are a little bit confused where to go when I'm this far away, so they just try to go straight towards me, which obviously doesn't work very well. Because they are very much not on the same level as me, but eventually they'll realize that, and with eventually I mean when I go down, and they'll start attacking me again, and all's gonna be good. There's still a guy there, and I missed entirely even though he wasn't moving. I am proud of myself. Why are they not moving anymore? That's very strange, and they're all exploding as well, which is not something which ordinarily happens. Maybe because I'm so far away, but we just keep shooting these guys. There's not that many left anymore. I don't think we're going into demon mode in this level because we are very much running out of enemies here and not really getting any of their souls because I'm being lazy with it, but it doesn't matter too much. We have a lot of ammo right now, and if we are going into demon mode it's just going to be completely pointless, but that's fine. I should use my Painkiller more often. It's a fun weapon to use, but the shotgun and the stake gun are just so good, and it's often not worth it to switch weapons because of it. Oh, that's why he was running away like an idiot. He was just trying to revive his friend, but it didn't really work out for him all that well. Because we have weapons, and weapons destroy enemies. Let's just get some souls. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be worth it at all to try and collect the remaining souls anymore. How many? Yeah, there's 3 more enemies left in the level, so that would be a little bit pointless. Fortunately, our compass does show off where the remaining enemies are. I'm not sure if they're on the top level or not. I do hope they're not, because that would mean I could just reach them very easily. I think they're down here. Yeah, there is at least one more. And that was the last one, apparently, which is good. It means we can move on and kill the final enemy of this level. Didn't really mean to jump in that hole right there, but I kind of did it anyway. And the final enemy of the level, which is through this passageway filled with rocks which are falling down and not damaging me. It's that guy. This guy is also a different enemy type. We can't actually kill him like this, but there's a thing, there's a star, and if we shoot it, light appears from the top of the thing. I'm actually going to shoot these planks as well, and I'm going to save the game because things tend to go wrong here. And just sort of stand on the edge here and just sort of wait for him, really. Because this guy's not very good against light. He's pretty weak against it. And as he's coming closer, let's jump in there. And he's dead. He exploded. And there's the exit. So this is another one of those places where if you fall down, it's a good idea to just try to stick to the edge like over here. Because from here, if you fall all the way down, you just die instantly. But if you sort of nudge your way over here and then just sort of stick to the edge here, you can generally physics your way back up again. And it looks really silly, but it does work usually. I don't know why I decided to show this off, because it does sometimes take a while to get all the way back up again, but it's just a fun thing to do. And since we had so many secret areas that revolved around us doing this, might as well do it one last time before we leave the level. But it does seem like the game decided to punish me for this action and is just not letting me get out of here anymore. Which, you know, might be considered a mistake. And that happens when you hit the bottom, and it's rather unfortunate. But fortunately, We weren't that stupid to just jump down like that, and instead we just climbed up this ladder and just jumped into the level exit, right? That's what happened, right? I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And that's it. That's all the enemies killed, and we got ourselves another tarot card by doing so. Click. It's the Soul Keeper. Souls stay longer, and as you may have noticed previously, souls don't really stay that long, so this is actually quite useful to have. So going to our souls, this is actually or tarot cards rather, this is our first silver card, and as it says here when we hover over it for a while, they are immediate and last throughout the entire level, and as such they are definitely worthwhile to just stick in here right now, because souls are good. Souls are very good. And having a passive bonus throughout the entire level is going to help out quite a lot for the levels that are coming up. So yeah, that was it. That was the third level. And the next time we play, we are going to do the Cathedral, level 4. And I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.